sadistic and sentencing him to 25 years in prison. Devin Vander.
That was it? So he did it for no... Nah, see, now I'm starting to hesitate meeting people online. What's up guys, the Intio here, and today we have a video called Gamers Who Unalived their opponents in real life. I don't understand what would make you want to do that in real life. Like, it's just a game. I mean, I can't say it's just a game in certain aspects. Like, okay, it may not be just a game. Maybe you have to achieve a certain goal in the game to get like a achievement, like a trophy, or maybe even if it's a tournament. But it should not have you to go out there out of your way to unalive someone. Like, it's not that deep. It's just a game. At that point, you need therapy. You need to seek a lot of help. You need like a doctor. You got to learn how to work on your anger. Or you can just read this book. Give me a sec. Just read this book. It's not bad. It's really good. I still gotta finish it though. But anyways, with that all out the way, without further ado, let's get right into it.
David Katz. David Katz was a 24-year-old gamer from Baltimore, USA. David came from a wealthy family. Despite this, David was very troubled. David's parents had a very nasty divorce. This caused David immense distress, with him being sent to a psychiatric hospital twice. During this time, there was only one thing that truly brought David joy. That was the video game Madden, which David would play for days on end, sometimes without bathing. All this time playing Madden actually made David one of the game's top players, becoming known in the Madden community by his gamer tag Bread. Before long, David began competing in Madden tournaments, actually winning the Madden 2017 championship. David was known for showing no emotion when playing, but this would change on August 26, 2018. David was competing in a Madden tournament in Jacksonville, Florida, with 30 gamers competing for a $5,000 cash prize. The tournament was taking place at the Good Luck Have Fun game bar, with thousands watching live on Twitch. Unfortunately, David had not been playing well, actually losing a few games.
And that's
Other gamers in the tournament noticed this, and said David had been acting weird all weekend, with David refusing to shake hands with any player he lost to.
Some of them do that. Some of them do that.
He had shades on, he didn't speak to anybody. Even after we played, I beat him. I went to shake his hand and tell him good game, and he just looked at me. He didn't say anything.
The final straw.
It's kind of messed up. Like, you gotta. I've seen a bunch of Super Smash Bros tournaments, like on YouTube. They be shaking hands, and sometimes they be mad they don't do it. I'm like, where's the respect? Like, I get you upset, but I gotta be like, man, I gotta give them props though. I mean, they are really good, even if I get upset, but I don't think I let Super Smash get to me that much. I do main Corrin though. I ain't gonna lie, I main Corrin. I was trying to main Fox too, but you know, probably because foxes are my favorite animal. Stop.
Draw came when David lost to another player named Bugs.
I love Fox.
This would knock David out of the tournament, and he did not take this well, having a massive outburst, refusing to shake Bugs' hand, and then storming out of the bar, with other gamers assuming David had stormed off and gone home. But really, David had a much more sinister plan. A few minutes later, David would return to the bar. In his hand,
is it ironic that it's Chicago and he's doing I'll stop.
were two pistols, one even equipped with a laser sight. David would fire 12 shots, with the first shot being caught live on Twitch. You can actually see the red dot from David's laser sight being pointed at a gamer named Elijah Clayton. The shots caused massive panic in the busy bar. People began flipping tables over to hide, while others dialed 911, prompting a police and SWAT team response. This resulted in a standoff for some time, until one more shot from inside the bar could be heard. That shot would be David taking himself out. Police and SWAT stormed the bar, finding a
He ended his own. Why is that the thing I do the most? That's kind of like a wimp move. I'm gonna end everybody, but so I don't get arrested, I'm gonna end myself. You know you gotta talk to next, right? Yeah, I don't think you're going up. I think you're going down. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation for you.
Elijah Clayton and Taylor Robinson deceased, as well as David Katz himself. 11 other people were injured, one of whom had even been shot in the chest. But thankfully, all 11 injured survived. The passing of Elijah and Taylor shook the Madden community, as they were both loved by gamers and their own families. But one question still remained. Why did David do this? It's possible it was due to David's mental health issues, with many saying getting kicked out of the tournament might have caused him to crack, while others said David and Elijah had a big rivalry, which is why many believe David did this all because of a gaming beef he had with Elijah.
It should never have to go that route. I get people get upset and they be yelling like it's a freaking COD lobby back in 2012. But you ain't got no reason to pull a gun out. You know, I hope the family's doing well. That is pretty sad though.
Viner and Tyler Barris. On December 28, 2017, 17-year-old Casey Viner was playing Call of Duty World War II. He had been playing against another player, who Casey had met on a website which allows you to place bets on Call of Duty games. Casey and the other player made a $1.50 bet that either one of them would win. The other
$1.50? You better not tell me $1.50 led you to doing some dumb shit.
Player beat
Please don't.
Casey, meaning that he won the $1.50 bet. It may sound like fun and games,
It's just $1.50.
but Casey was seriously annoyed about losing this bet, so called his friend Tyler Barris. Casey and Tyler then tried to find out who the other player was, before long finding the player's real identity, Shane Gaskill of Wichita, Kansas. Casey and Tyler
It's
began taunting
$1.50.
Shane on Twitter. Shane responded by posting an address and said, "Try something," which led to Tyler Barris swatting the address. If
That's
you don't
stupid.
know, swatting is where you call the SWAT team to someone's house,
Yeah.
pretending a serious crime is going on there, in an attempt to scare whoever's living there. But what Tyler
And it rarely happens too. I think it depends on the kind of streamer or the kind of person. But honestly, it rarely happens. People just catch it and then they end up putting it on social media. But it's not happening like commonly though.
didn't know was, Shane did not live at that address. Instead, Shane had sent Tyler and Casey his old address, not actually expecting they would swat it. This resulted in a SWAT team showing up to the house of Andrew Finch, an innocent, unarmed single father
That's
who
so
had absolutely
dumb.
no idea about the gaming beef going on. When the SWAT team showed up to Andrew's house, they shot him by mistake, sadly ending his life. Investigators began looking into this, soon realizing it was a swatting gone wrong. Casey, Tyler, and Shane were all arrested. Tyler was sentenced to 20 years in prison for making the call. Casey was sentenced to 15 months, because while he didn't make the call, he did tell Tyler to do it. Finally,
That's
Shane
dumb.
Gaskill was sentenced to 18 months. This was for posting the address he no longer lived at. Some said Casey's
Only
sentence was
18,
way
huh?
too light, while Shane's was too harsh, as Casey and Tyler had been trying to swat Shane. But the biggest victims in all of this are Andrew Finch, who lost his life for no reason, and Andrew's son, who now has to grow up without any parents.
They got the
all
kid
because of
too?
these gamers, who took a $1.50 Call of Duty bet way too far.
$1.50. That's, oh my, that's so petty. Y'all got some real issues, man. Like, why would you? Forget it. I don't even care no more.
Edward Kang. In 2024, 20-year-old Edward Kang had been playing
2
the
times.
game Arcade.
What is-
Arcade is a fantasy game that you can play with other people online. Edward, who is from New Jersey, had been playing the game with a man named Zachary Din, who was over 1,000 miles away in Florida. They'd been playing together for some time, but
Okay.
one day, Edward and Zachary had a dispute over the game, leading to the two no longer playing together. The friends had never met in person, so you might think the
So what's the
story
point
would
of-
end there. But Edward had other ideas, flying
If you don't even know each other in person, what's the point of even arguing about some weird beef?
from New Jersey to Florida. Upon arriving, he purchased a flashlight and a hammer, before putting on all black clothing, gloves, and a mask. Edward then went
And
to
where'd he get that?
Zachary's home, and attempted to end Zachary's life using the hammer. Thankfully, Zachary's screams woke up his stepfather, who was also in the house at the time. Zachary's stepfather rushed in, and saw him on the ground struggling with Edward. Thankfully, they were
Goodness.
able to restrain Edward, and promptly
Okay.
called police.
Good.
Zachary had severe head wounds, but thankfully survived, with police
That's good.
saying this was one of the strangest cases they had ever seen. It's crazy Edward traveled over 1,000 miles, simply over a video game
cry.
dispute. Now Edward could face a life sentence for attempted murder. The trial is still ongoing, but as police say, it will be a very long time before Edward plays video games again.
Yep.
Daniel Petrick. In 2007, Daniel
Crazy.
Petrick was 16 years old. Like most 16-year-old boys, he was obsessed with Halo 3, which
Okay.
was the most popular game at the time. Friends and family described Daniel as a normal and happy teenager who had no psychological problems. But Daniel was said to be totally addicted to Halo 3, playing it for 7 or 8 hours every day. But there was a problem. Halo 3 was
Yeah, I've played
rated
games
M for
longer than that.
mature. Because Daniel was only 16, his father did not want him playing a mature game. So Daniel's father took his game away. This prompted Daniel to move into his friend's house, also he could play Halo 3.
That's
While
crazy.
living with his friend,
All that just
Daniel
for a
would
game.
spend 18 hours per day playing
Damn, I
Halo.
broke.
Eventually, he moved back in with his parents, and secretly bought another copy of Halo 3. But when Daniel's dad discovered this, he confiscated the game yet again, locking it in his
I was about to give him advice. What the heck is wrong with me? I was about to say, why don't you just hide the disc? Like,
gun safe. 1 week later, on October 20th, 2007, Daniel found his father's keys to unlock the father's pistol. That evening, Daniel walked up behind his parents as they were sitting on the couch, saying, "Close your eyes, I have a surprise for you." Daniel
no.
then shot both his parents.
Come on.
Miraculously, Daniel's father, Mark, survived. However, Daniel's mother, Susan, was not so lucky, sadly
died?
losing her life. Daniel was soon arrested. In court, Daniel's eyes were red from crying. He said he misses
Yeah, I
his
bet they
mother
would be.
and had no idea why he did something so terrible. Surprisingly, Daniel's father asked the judge to be lenient during sentencing, meaning Daniel
No,
was
no, no,
only
no,
given
no, no.
23 years behind bars, despite facing life without parole. Daniel is set to be released in 2032, but many say he should never be allowed out, as he tried to end both his parents' lives, all because of a video game. Lewis Danes.
That's crazy.
In 2015, 19-year-old Lewis Danes from Essex, UK, had been playing Call of Duty on his PC. While playing, he met a 14-year-old boy named Breck Bednar. The two played Call of Duty for some time, when one day, Lewis suggested the two meet up. Breck agreed. So one night, Breck told his parents he would sleep over at a friend's house, near to where they lived in Surrey. But really, Breck secretly travelled to Essex, where he would meet Lewis Danes. But when Breck arrived at Lewis's house, things soon went bad. Lewis used duct tape on Breck's wrists and ankles, before taking a knife to Breck's neck, sadly ending Breck's life. Exactly why Lewis did this is unclear. Lewis claimed they had got into an altercation, but the judge did
Altercation like what? That seemed like y'all was cool online.
not believe this, calling Lewis a
Let me guess, the chats got leaked and he said some crap in there he shouldn't.
sadistic killer, and sentencing him to 25 years in prison. Devin Vanderhoff.
That was it? So he did it for no... Nah, see, now I'm starting to hesitate meeting people online.
In 2024, Devin Vanderhoff from Canada had been gaming with a woman from California. As the two played, Devin began to fall in love with this woman, despite the fact that they'd never met in real life. But upon learning the woman had a boyfriend, Devin became enraged. After this, Devin would not be online for the next few days, with the woman assuming Devin no longer wanted to play with her. But the real reason Devin was not online is much more sinister. He had flown all the way from Canada to California, and found where the woman lived. One evening at 10 p.m.
How did he
Devin
know?
knocked on the woman's door. He was posing as a delivery driver holding a package, but inside the package were handcuffs, duct tape, and knives. The woman's boyfriend opened the door. Devin then forced his way in, going on to badly injure the woman and her boyfriend. Thankfully though, the pair were able to overpower Devin. Police were called and Devin was soon arrested, and is being held on a $4 million bail. The trial is still ongoing, and it said Devin could be sentenced to 25 years behind bars for what he did. Thankfully the woman and her boyfriend survived, but this really is proof you need to be careful who you talk to online. Guilherme.
No, that's his fault. He the one who started it. This dude was too down bad and down horrendous. Like, man, why? How do you even know where she lived? Man, that's crazy, man.
May Costa. Guilherme Costa is an 18-year-old from Brazil. He played Call of Duty Mobile competitively under the gamertag Flashlight for the Brazilian esports team Gamers Elite. While playing Call of Duty Mobile, Guilherme met a player from a rival team, 19-year-old Ingrid da Silva, who played under the gamertag Soul for the esports team Fantastic Brazil Impact. Although they were rivals from two different teams, they had gotten pretty close, even meeting up in real life a few times, with Guilherme's mother saying they seemed like good friends. But before long, Guilherme's true dark motive would be revealed. On February 22nd, 2021, Ingrid would visit Guilherme at his house. Guilherme had been plotting for 2 weeks to lure her over, and then end her life, which is exactly what he did, ending Ingrid's life with a sword. After doing this, Guilherme took a selfie.
Vocês estão achando que é tinta, que é montagem ou algo do tipo, mas não, não é. Eu realmente matei ela, entendeu? E, bom, eu tenho um livro também, pedi para um pessoal tá divulgando já esse meu livro.
Why?
E é isso aí. Eu espero que vocês leiam. Tem algumas verdades sobre isso.
How
Guilherme
can you
then
just say
went on to
this was
send this
so...
very haunting video to friends before going on the run. But the next day, Guilherme turned himself in. When asked why he did such an evil crime, Guilherme said this.
Mas por que você fez isso? Porque quis?
Você tá rindo de uma situação, Guilherme.
That makes
Você
no
matou uma
sense.
menina
How can you just
novinha,
do it
Guilherme.
just because?
Por que você fez isso?
Nah, he had to do it for a reason. He just didn't want to tell him. There can't be no reason why.
Police later searched Guilherme's home and found his manifesto he'd mentioned in the video he'd sent to friends. In the manifesto, he said he ended Ingrid's life as a protest against Christianity, but what he meant by this is not clear. Later, it was found Guilherme had psychological issues. Guilherme was later sentenced to 14 years in prison, but whatever
14?
Guilherme's situation was, it's so sad Ingrid lost her life for no reason. Which of these—
Man, they should have done some brain scans on him. There was no way he was going to end her without, like, just for no reason, man. But yeah, I hope all those families are doing well. Like, the people who lost them people, man, that's sad. That's going to be the video. If you like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Goodness, man, just don't do this. Just don't do what they did. It's just a game. Just be cool, just be kind, and don't do that stuff. If you need help, go get it, like a doctor or something, you know? Keep it chill, and until next time, peace out.